Taken out of the context of all of Scripture, our readings today can seem very intense and very legalistic. In the first reading, it starts with the Lord speaking through Moses saying, "Be holy as I, the Lord your God, am holy." Then it lists a whole bunch of things we shouldn't do. Then it says, "I'm the Lord." Then a whole nother list, "I'm the Lord." And then a whole nother list, "I'm the Lord." So 3 times God reiterates that the reason for following these directions is because He is the Lord and we're called to follow Him, right? Then the Psalm comes about and starts talking about the beauty of God's law and how wonderful it is and how good it is to live the decrees of God. And then the Gospel talks about Jesus sitting on His glorious throne, judging everyone, separating them into the goats and the sheep, and then laying out how they will be judged. Did you clothe the naked? Did you feed the hungry? You know, all those things. And so you look at this and you say, gosh, kind of intense, and it feels very much like a checklist. Did you do this? Did you not? But we have to remember some of the other things that Jesus said. He said, "Who's my brother, sister, mother? Those who do the will of my Father." He also said, "Whoever loves me will keep my commandments." And so all of what we're looking at today, we have to remember that it's all grounded in love. That Jesus even said, "I didn't come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it." And one of the ways He fulfills it is continues to reveal the loving face of His Father, the loving face of God to man. That He comes not to say that we shouldn't do those things, but to remember why God has revealed His law so that we can enter into a loving relationship with Him. And that loving relationship transforms all of those things we should and should not do into the path to a life filled with peace, joy, and love. That all of a sudden He's laying out the groundwork for salvation. And that's why it's so important that we read the first reading with joy in our hearts, remembering that Jesus is Lord. And so when God is saying, "Don't do these things, I am the Lord," hear Jesus saying those things because He's saying, "I love you, and if you do these things, you will separate yourself from me. But if you don't, we will be in a loving relationship with each other, so that at the end of your life, you can hear those wonderful words that we all long to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master."